Tchaikovsky's Symphony No. 4 was written between 1877 and 1878 and holds the nickname as the, quote, Fate Symphony, where the horns represent fate, the force which prevents the impulse to happiness from attaining its goal, where jealousy ensures that peace and happiness shall not be complete and unclouded, which hangs above the head like the sword of Damocles, unwaveringly, constantly poisoning the soul. It is an invincible force that can never be overcome, merely endured hopelessly. Although we do not play the call of fate, we do have another thematic melody which represents an anguished expression of suffering. The chromatics show a kind of cowering and wincing as a result of enduring the pain and punches thrown by fate. The semi-chromatic scalar passages that ascend and descend are representative of a kind of overpowering tornado which overtakes us as we give up our power to fate. Needless to say, this excerpt is full of drama we must properly convey. Part of that is captured when we provide rhythmic clarity against the dotted 8/16, the tie, and perhaps most importantly, the short moment where the compound meter is broken into a duple hemiola, where we briefly feel we escape the feel of 3 and go into 2. It is brief, and we immediately enter the chromatic tornado. Since the entire excerpt is so intense, it may be difficult to know where to loosen our emotional grip, especially since the entire passage is marked forte, until the very end, where it is ramped up even more to fortissimo. So, in other words, the whole passage can easily be too loud all the time. Much like many of the excerpts that don't have many dynamic markings, find subtle ways to follow the contour of the melody to parallel the rise and fall of dynamics. Note that in the third measure of C, we start these sixteenths with an accent, but the next two sets of sixteenths do not have accents. It's a subtle marking, but I try to give a little bite on the first note of the passage, but make the others as smooth as possible, building a longer crescendo or decrescendo. In the theme, where we have detached notes coming from the slurred notes, use these liberated notes to give a bit more energy, forward motion, and more bow into the next measure. Make sure you create your most sustained and saturated sound under the slurred portion of the notes by using slow bow speed and bow weight. What will result is that you'll be alternating your bow usage and style between a sustained, saturated sound under the slur and a more open, free, speedy use of bow on the detached eighth notes that follow.